So far this year, we have been describing the periodic table in terms of columns as up and down and rows as left to right. And that is totally fine. Everybody's going to know what you mean when you say a column versus or a row. Or at least people should know what you mean. But in chemistry, just like with other science classes, we like to have fancy terms for little reason. And I am not concerned that we always use these fancy terms of groups and periods, but it is going to be important to at least be familiar with them if other people use those terms. So I may or may not start using these new terms as I describe the periodic table. But in future chemistry classes, there's a pretty high likelihood that your teachers may be using these terms. So it's important to be familiar with them. So the first term we'll go through is groups. And groups on the periodic table, I'm just going to draw an arrow to represent it, but they are up and down. Groups are up and down. So group 1, and maybe I can do this in different colors to help us. So groups, we'll do in purple. This is group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So groups, again, we were doing that one in purple. They go up and down. And we're going to, again, for this level chemistry, we're skipping the transition metals. We're not doing a whole lot with them for Intro to Chemistry 1 high school level. But groups 1, 2, skip the transition metals, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And recall from prior videos, groups are important for many reasons, but one of them, the main reason, is they tell you the number of valence electrons. So again, groups are up and down, and they are synonymous with columns. We could say, instead of group, we could say column, and everybody's going to know what you're talking about. All right, next, the next one, if you haven't guessed, is period. And if you hadn't guessed what it is from left to right. So we're going to say periods. And I'm going to draw a little arrow. They are left to right. Let's make that arrow look extra good. All right, and we could say, like the common folk term for this would be row. All right, so they are left to right. So the first period, let's do this one in green. So periods. Don't want to cover up that 3. Periods. Here's the first period right here. Second period, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 7th period. And periods, if we recall from our prior lessons, they are important for many reasons, but the main reason being they tell us the number of electron shells or number of energy levels an atom has. So it is important to be familiar with these terms of groups and periods. You are welcome to use the terms column and row. Everybody's going to know what you mean, but the more scientific terms are groups for up and down and periods from left to right. And it's important to understand those if other people are using them or if you want to start using those scientific terms.